Hey everybody, so I'm doing a review today of the new Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1 soundtrack. The soundtrack's coming out this Tuesday, coincides with the release of the movie next Friday. And in this album, we see a lot of the some of the returning musicians like Lorde, who was on, I guess, the last soundtrack. She did that awful cover of the Tears for Fears song, Everybody Wants to Rule the World, and I think there is quite a bit of consensus that a lot of people did not like that cover version. But let's talk about this album. This album really reeks a lot of 80s production and a lot of tribal kind of music too, especially in the percussion department in some of these songs. So the album features a number of different artists, some of who you guys are probably already familiar with. You know, there's Lorde, there's Churches, Ariana Grande's on this album, Tovlo, and many more. In fact, Lorde, I think, was specifically hired in this album to write a bunch of the songs, as well as choose a bunch of other musicians to sing a bunch of the other songs, as well as do some work with them as well. So this isn't, like I said, this isn't Lorde's first involvement. Like the movie, the soundtrack takes on a much darker and more sinister tone, but some of the songs just seem weirdly out of place. And of course, I'm talking about the Ariana Grande song as well as the XOV song Animal, which just reeks of echo, auto-tune, and the awfulness that is present in so much pop music today. And this also goes for another song called This Is Not a Game, which features Miguel, as well as Lorde singing background vocals. And the only thing she sings in that whole song is This Is Not Over, There It Is, over and over again. It's such an annoying song and so repetitive. And the song also seems to go in so many different directions that you just don't really get a sense of what the song is trying to accomplish. But let's talk about the good things about the album. So there are some really good songs on this album. My favorite is probably Dead Air. It has a really cool pop / alternative rock kind of sound, and it also screams 80s. It's chock full of drum machines and synths, and it's also also another really great song is the first song off the album, which is Meltdown, which features Lorde, and it's actually a pretty good song. It does sound. I've never really been a big fan of Lorde to begin with. I've always found for somebody who's a 17-year-old, she sure seems to have a lot of wisdom and snootiness for somebody who hasn't really lived an adult life. I mean, she acts like she's the second coming of Christ or the next Kurt Cobain, which she's not. Anyways, let's talk about the positive still. But I have to give her credit on this song that it actually is a pretty good song. She has another song on this album called Yellow Flicker, which there's actually two versions of. The original version I really don't care much for. It sounds like every other song Lorde has ever sang. But then there's a Kanye West remix version, which is really good. It tends to slow things down. There's a lot less percussion. There's a lot less going on in the song. And it's more about Lorde's vocals rather than the instrumentation going on in the background. So that's probably one of my favorite songs too. And the album also does do some more experimental EDM stuff as well, with songs like Original Beast, which seem to miss the mark a bit for me, as it's a little too experimental for my taste. But you know what? At the end of the day, the album succeeds in what it does, which is appeal to the demographic of the movie, which is probably teenagers as well as maybe young adults. And I think for them, they're really going to enjoy this album. But for me, who's somebody a little bit older and somebody who modestly enjoys or casually enjoys the movies, this is a mediocre album. I'd probably give it a 3 out of 5. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.